What's up everybody, it's Charlie and I'm back. So in this video, I want to talk a little bit about the accommodations process. I am about to go back to work, and with that comes kind of the stress of being a disabled person who is going to work, especially because work is not something that I am always able to do. But because of the ADA, the Americans with Disabilities Act, I should be able to go into a workplace and get reasonable accommodations so that I can do the job and stay working. So in this video, I'm going to talk about kind of the process that I've gone through to get reasonable accommodations and how I figured that out. So to start off with, I had to identify an area of my job that I was struggling with. It was helpful for me to have my position description so that I can actually go through and say, okay, I'm struggling with organization, or I'm struggling with staying consistent, or I'm struggling with memory problems, or I'm struggling with social issues, or any of those things. You have to identify what actual problem you have at the job. After that, the key is to go to your HR department, or call into your HR department if you work for like a different kind of job or whatever. Call into whatever HR department that you have and let them know that you have this disability and that you need a reasonable accommodation. What they will do from there is give you a form to fill out or to take to your doctor to fill out, for you to talk through and get approval for your reasonable accommodations. For me, when I got that paper, I wasn't quite sure what to ask for, and my psychiatrist didn't provide me with any information. So what I did was go on JAN, the Job Accommodation Network, that tells you exactly what accommodations make sense for your particular disability. It's a really cool site. I definitely recommend you going on there and checking that out. But that was kind of where I found out what I could ask for, what things would be reasonable accommodations that I'm likely to get. And so I took that list of reasonable accommodations and kind of pulled out the ones that I wanted and took that list back to my psychiatrist, and we wrote up the form that I needed to fill out to turn back into HR. Moving forward, it was just a matter of getting my supervisors on board. My main supervisor was in there when I did the initial accommodations meeting with our director. Once I turned that form back in, they looked at it and we had another sit-down meeting where we all decided and agreed that these were in fact reasonable accommodations and stuff that they could do and that I could do. And so from there, we set up a process to kind of check back in. Overall, the whole process took about a month or so for me to talk to HR, get into my psychiatrist, get all of the paperwork filled out, get it turned back into HR, and then to finally have that last meeting where we talk about how to put those accommodations in place. From there, I wish I could say things had gone well, but in my experience, there has not been a time where I've asked for accommodations where people have actually met those accommodations, or that the accommodations kind of worked for me. I think that's part of the problem with being disabled, is that sometimes, despite all of the accommodations, despite everything that people can do, I still can't work. And that's part of why I am looking to apply for Social Security disability, because as much as I try, I am not a consistent enough worker. I work really well. Like, I can get the job done and I work at a good pace and everything is going well until it's not. And at that point of not is when I need accommodations, and that's not always something that people can accommodate. It's not always reasonable for people to accommodate me. And so in those cases, it's better for me to leave that job, or for there to be some sort of severance because I just can't do it. And that's been a hard thing for me to kind of come to terms with, but it is something that I do accept about myself now, that I am disabled, and that means that I can't always work, but I do want to do the best that I can to try to work. And so that's why I sign up for these jobs, even though I don't always last in them long, but I still think it's worth it to try. And if things work out, cool, and if they don't, at least I made some money for a while. So that's kind of where I'm at. I hope this was helpful for all of you who are seeking to get accommodations at your job. If you have any other questions about this, check out the Job Accommodation Network, Jan, and you can also put some questions in the comments. And if not, I'll see you next time. Deuce.